Hi guys. All right, it's time to do back tests. Let's catch up with some back tests and see what the market was for last week. Okay, so this is between the 26th of March, am I correct? Sorry, the 8th of March and the 15th of March. This was last week. Apparently, what happened last week from Sunday to Sunday? So if we were to trade this market, what would we be looking out for? All right, so at this point, market was still bullish. If you notice, it's been in a bullish trend. We've had market break above this point, so this low here is valid. We can put something from here. Or I think I should use this, but let's see. Oh yeah, that is fine. That one, fine. Okay. So if you notice, market has been in an uptrend. All this why it's tapped in here. Gotta clone this and take it up. Tapped in here too. Tapped in here too. And we had a cell area being tapped in. No, cell area here being tapped in. Yeah. So, but before that, we had some little consolidation here and here, and also markets came in and tapped in somewhere here because of this line. And also, just don't mind me, this is actually how I plot my trade. So we've seen how market has been frequent. The reason why I put all these things is so you see it. Normally, I see it myself. So market has been uptrend from here, growing up, coming back returns. So respecting also this mid range of the trend, right, on daily. So it has been in an overall uptrend, and we see this point here as a zone. This blue area here, we see it as a zone for the market, right? In which market broke above these points and also closed above this high. So it a made it an uptrend from this point here. Yep. Yeah, made an uptrend from this point when it closed above this point. Yeah. So the the trading range will be between this point here. Let me shift it down. I think I'm there. Yeah. And this point here. Yeah. Just before this last sale. So we knew market was going to come down somewhere around here, but I was waiting for market to come down either at this zone. I will be waiting for market to come down either at this zone or anywhere below the zone. So if you notice, we only have one spot of a fair value gap, which is here. Yeah, which is here. That's on a daily. Yeah, that's on a daily time frame. We only have this spot as fair value gap on daily time frame. So good. All right. So daily time frame we had this and 4 hours we had this. So it's always good to look for trades below the point of, but then below the point of a break. So, but then we could have shallow retracement. I think I've seen several options, several times when The market did a shallow retracement here, something like that, and finally, oh wow, it's too high. Okay, so when market did that, this shallow retracement and just pushed from here above, I've seen something like that happen over and over and over and over again. So yeah, and I've seen mid-range. So in this case, we had a mid-range reversal. So let's go down to 4 hours to see what happens at this point. Yeah, so in 4 hours, one of the rules that we had, this is the overall zone. I think if I stretch it out a little bit more, you see that's actually a zone. So this tap in here, this tap in here. So yeah, it's actually a zone. So we had this in we had this our rule. This thing respected our rule. So if you notice how after the whole break, this was where the point this was the point of break. After the break, market took out all these points as liquidity. If you see all these points here, all these points here, market took everything out as liquidity. Took all these points out as liquidity. This is kind of like a trend line liquidity because it looks like it's trending upwards. Yeah. So it came back, then it started after the high, which is here, or some people might put it here. After the high, it came back to start dropping. Mm, Excuse me. I'm a bit tired and sleepy, but I have to get these videos out for you guys because I know some of you are watching and learning from my strategy. So it's always good that I have these things out for you guys. Okay. So at this point, we have an other block here just below the breakup point. We had another block here just at the same point as the zone. You know, I've always said this, whenever an other block aligns at the same point as your zone, it's a stronger confirmation. It's actually a stronger confirmation, right? Where you have your zone at the same point of your other block. So it's actually a stronger confirmation. But then we had a trend, market trended after this high. Let's say this is the high, but this was like the highest point, right? Yeah, let's say this is the high before the day started, the week started. So after this high, we had like a trending situation. The market created this high, this lower high, then broke below the last lower low, the last lower low. Yeah. So we had a trend. So, but one thing that I also use to make sure once I see it, I'm going to concentrate in entering the market. If I don't see a candlestick, a proper candlestick reversal pattern to buy this market, then I wouldn't. But in this case, we saw one. This looks like a tweezer bottom, or some people can still indicate it as a bearish or bullish engulfing, right? So you may indicate it as a bullish engulfing. So engulfing candle. But then this is a candlestick pattern, right? It came into the zone, tapped on it once, and shifted, closed as a buy, and from there. So if you were in the market, if you were in this market, you would have seen this would have been your profit, your loss target. Then your profit target would be at this point now, profit target is already at 1 is to 3.26. Okay, so target is already at 1 is to 3.26 at this point now. You get so it's a good trade. If you take your 1 is to 3, that's a good trade. That's a perfect trade. You take 1 is to 3, it's good. Okay, so hold on, trying to check something. Hey, yeah. I just I was just reading a message from one of my friend. He sent me a message. I was just checking out what he said. It was also about trading. Okay, so for this pair, we've successfully done the back test, but let's break it down to 1 hour and see what 1 hour did there. You see, so in a 4 hours, we had a tweezer bottom, something that looks like a tweezer bottom, and in 1 hour we had an engulfing, an engulfing candle. So this is a full engulfing. The long big candle shifted that zone, shifted out of that zone. So if you were trading from a 1 hour perspective, you probably, and this would actually be from a 1 hour, this would actually be your entry. Yeah, this would be your entry, and this would actually be your exit because that's the high of the day. That's your trading range high. Yeah. So, and this is actually a 1:4.6. It's a good one. It's actually a good one. So if you were trading here, that would be what you see. So I do this also to remind myself daily for these strategies that I trade, right? To also understand when market condition changes and the new things that come up in the market that I have to get used to, right? Because the truth is market really changes most of the time. Market just goes and goes, changes from one thing to the other and all of that. So, but you have to stay consistent. So this is why you have to keep checking it and keep checking it and keep coming back. So yeah, for now, that's the trade. That's the trade for this pair that we would have taken to make profits. Yeah, on the 4 hours, it would have been 1:3. Then on the 1 hour, it's actually 1:4.6. So it's good. It's a good one. It's a good one. All right. I would save this. For next week, I would look for pairs that are ready for next week. But for now, I don't think this pair is ready for next week. I think this pair is already a last week back test. But let's see. So if you're new here, you're welcome to my channel. And please do well to subscribe and turn on your bell notification so that when I post a new video, you'll be the first to know. And also, please like the video, share it so we get more people viewing this video. And also, drop me a comment. If you have something to say, something you don't understand, you can drop me a comment and I'll go through my comment section and I'll reply. Okay. Or if you want to chat me up personally, then my Instagram is there, same handle, Josh_FX Pro, TikTok, JoshFX Pro. So I'll see you guys in the next backtest video. Bye bye.